Hannes, Ricky of Moshville comes here once again. Now tonight, Kwando from Scottish death metal hooligans Brainbath and myself are lucky enough to have vocalist Hannes of Italian horror freaks Tenebro. So Hannes is going to join us and discuss all things horror, death, and of course all things dismal. So I have to ask you, Hannes, and Kenny, of course, how the devil are you?
Me?
Yeah, well,
How are you, Hannes?
So I'm fine, man. First of all, Thank you for this opportunity, man. I always love to do this and share passions, and all weird things related.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, who am I? So I'm just a nerd who likes, to play music and tries to incorporate horror movies in his music. So basically, that's it. So yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I have many projects, as you mentioned. I'm in Tenebro.
Yeah.
I'm not the original singer. Normally, I'm only playing instruments on the records, and I do like vocals duties, live shows.
Yeah.
I have other projects like Sepulcro, which is my main band where I play drums and sing. I have Engrossed, I have Celebrarian, I have a few,
Right.
and also new bands who are coming. So in the next couple of months, you guys will see. I'm working on some new tasty projects as well. And yeah, I'm also into dark wave. I have like my own synth project, with a fucking synth.
Do
So
you see what Kenny's got?
what?
Bava?
Ah, the Baba. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, also the Baba. Yeah. See, when you have so many ones, I didn't
let's
see
get
it.
his
Yeah.
own drawer for tapes in my collection.
Yeah.
Him and Ryan Wills have got drawers for their own bloody collections.
Yeah, it's absolutely frightening. This guy's just a music and horror freak, but this is why I hate talking to vocalists because all I asked you was how are you doing, and you've answered my next half a dozen questions. So we are going to talk about your other projects. We are going to talk about
Okay.
Dismal Fate, and we are going to
Okay.
talk about Tenebro as well. So, but yeah. But now that you've returned to warmer climates after Scotland's weather in January did its best to destroy Dead of Winterfest, and it was good to see that death metal prevailed. Looking back on it, how was it for you?
It was awesome, man. I mean, as I already told you in the interview we did after the Tenebro shows, it was like one of my main goals to play there because Scotland is Scotland, man. I mean, everything is so cool over there, and I have already been there a couple of times.
Yeah,
So it was insane. Also, I mean, I was not expecting the crowd being, that present. I mean, on during the show. I mean, I thought like in the north, people were kind of cold, I mean, during the shows. I was not expecting that because I have been a couple of shows in the UK, but never in Scotland. And for example, in England, people weren't like this when I went there. Like, I know that you guys don't like comparison, Scotland and England, but yeah, I mean, it's just a pros for you guys. So, I mean, it was amazing. Also, meeting some old friends and seeing people traveling from all over the UK just for this festival and all the dedication that the guys have put on, and even though all the fucking bad weather, I mean, everything was perfect, man.
yeah.
It was. I
See,
mean, I'm happy that we were able to make it work. I mean, even though last minute problems, and all that kind of
yeah.
stupid things happened, but yeah, it was awesome, man.
I mean, I don't
Fantastic.
know if. I mean, obviously you were known by a good number of individuals, but I think after your show, the amount of people that wanted everything by Tenebro, they just headed straight to the merch desk. Uh,
Yeah.
and it was so, even when we go to gigs just now, the amount of people wearing Tenebro shirts, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, insane, man. Insane. Yeah.
So I do know the story of this, but it was an interesting story about how you got onto the bill in the first place. So
Here comes the shite bag story.
yeah,
Which story? The infamous one?
yes,
The
Candle one?
yeah.
How it
you're a
happened?
shite bag if you don't play the festival.
I mean, you want to know how it happened? I mean,
Go for it.
so yeah, so everything happened so randomly. I mean, I was like last year in February, I think, or March. I think it was February. I was like traveling across the whole UK by train, stopping in every city for 1 or 2 nights, starting from the south, from London, until up to the north to Edinburgh. I stayed, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks, and let's say, my last final spot was Edinburgh. And yeah, so the day before, I remember I was texting to Kendo. I don't know why, probably because I never met him before, but we were like in touch online. So it happened that when I arrived on Edinburgh, it was like 5 p.m. It was a Friday, I think. Yeah, it was on Friday.
Yeah, I know
5
what this is
p.m.
going already.
Yeah, and Kendall texted me, so are you in Edinburgh? Yeah, just arrived. Okay, let's meet up for like a beer in about 2 hours. So it was, okay, then let's go. I'm going to the hotel for a check-in. So I went to the hotel, then I went straight to Edinburgh. I can't remember the name of the pub, unfortunately, but we did like a pub crawl, so I mean, it doesn't matter. And spoiler. And when I arrived like in a fucking pub, we started like to drink a beer. Then it was not a beer, and it was not a beer, and there were like other friends of Kendo coming in, and yeah, it was supposed to be just one beer, man, just one fucking beer,
I
and
heard
it
you were
was
lucky to
7
get.
p.m.
Yeah, I heard you were
and
lucky to
I
get your
ended
plane back.
Yeah, and I end up being so drunk at 7 a.m. after 12 hours of heavy drinking, with the Uber driver who wanted to kick me out because I was too noisy, too drunk, because I couldn't remember the name of the hotel. I don't even know how I booked an Uber because I didn't even text like which place I had to go. It was insane, man. And the thing is that we, I mean, we had to meet to 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 talk about this festival, because that's why we had to see us to meet us, yeah, because of the festival. And we didn't speak one word about it. We just drink. We started to listening to Creedence Clearwater Revival. We started to listen to Tin Lids in pub, I mean,
Yeah.
drink after a drink. And the morning after, I was so fucking wasted. I was supposed to visit Edinburgh. I stayed in bed in a hotel the whole fucking day. And I remember that he texted me like, so are we gonna do this festival thing? I mean, we didn't spoke about it, but yeah, I mean, fuck it, let's do it. So everything went in this way, and
Yeah.
I mean, it was so funny, man. I remember we went at the Legend pub at
Yep.
some point. That was like 2 a.m. As soon as I entered upstairs, they were like playing Tenebro on the speakers.
It's a
And
sign.
there was Kendo. I have a video on the telephone, actually, of him like dancing, like like a disco stew guy, on the intro of Tenebro, not even on the song, but on the intro of the song. So yeah, man, it was freaking awesome. I mean, that's cool, man. That's life. I
Right,
mean, you have to take it.
Kenny, we need to get a copy of that video.
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
that. Please put that video
I have
online
it. I
for
have
us.
it. I'm gonna share it. Don't worry.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if you remember that I had a complaint when we first met, when I mentioned about your fucking song titles and how you've got no consideration for the radio presenter. But I'm afraid I'm going to have to start this interview with another complaint. Because we've met in January and you haven't released anything new in that time. So what's going on? I mean, are you becoming a doom metal band now or something?
No, the thing is that I in the past like few weeks I have like otitis, I have like an ear infection or something like that. I was supposed to record the new album, which I already did like the post-production, no, sorry, the pre-production,
Okay.
and everything is kind of ready. I need just to record the instruments and everything. So I had like, to postpone everything, but I already recorded 2 songs for a future Tenebro EP,
Okay.
which will be coming out soon before the album. Because I don't know if you know, but 2 years ago we started with 7 Metal Inches, which is a label from Germany. We started like it's like a trilogy where we release 3 7 inches
Okay.
of 3 mini EPs. The first one was Carne Humana, the one with the cannibal.
Yep.
Okay, then the second one is
Pura.
the Anthropophagus one,
Yeah.
La Bestia dell'Isola Maledetta, and then there will be like a third one,
Yeah.
which is gonna be revealed, I think, in about a few weeks. So we can like complete this fucking cycle, this triangle.
That sounds as if you're
And
just desperate to get it over and done with.
I mean, everything is ready honestly, since last summer.
Right.
But as I told you, I wanted to wait a bit because we released so much stuff in the last 2 years, and I had like reviews from all around the world like starting to complain because of us releasing too much music in such a short time, which I mean, I understand. I mean, I get it, but we had so many stuff ready. We didn't want to wait because more you wait, more you start to hate your own music. And so we just said, fuck it, let's release it in every format possible. And I mean, people buy it, so it means that it's good. But yeah, we are like currently slowing down right now because there will be new news regarding a new album who will be released hopefully in May. We signed with a new label
Okay.
in a few words, which will be revealed in May, I think. And with this label, we are gonna make a lot of stuff because we have also a booking manager now, so everything is gonna be more professional, kind of, because it was literally too much for me. And
Did you
yeah,
see?
I'm just
Did you ever think it was going to go this way? Was this
no,
just going to be
not at
like a
all.
recording project, just get a guitar,
No, the
record some
thing,
tunes, and that was it?
yeah. So the thing is, long story short, is that I remember in January 2019, I was with my label Dismal Fate releasing I wanted to re-release some old Italian demos from the 90s. So I was like looking for some old material from old bands who is abandoned now. And I found this guy, spoiler, who is the singer of Tenebro, because he had like another project I wanted to re-release, and from the late 90s. And he said, look, I have some music that I never released before. If you want, I can re-record it. I mean, I have like some rehearsals, he had like a tape, an old school tape with some riffs recorded on it.
Yeah.
And as soon as I listened to them, it was like, holy fuck, man. I mean, we have to do something with it. So he re-recorded everything. I helped him with the production, and it was supposed to be just like a demo with 3 songs. I
Yeah.
mean, and now after 6 years, no, 5 years, we released 40 songs, almost, So everything took, I mean, it was not supposed to be like that because the first demo, I think they pressed like 200 cassettes and they did 4 or 5 represses on 7 inch.
Yeah.
And they want to re-repress the first demo now. And I don't know, man. When you don't plan something, you just try. And I mean, I think it's the right time as well. The horror thing is in metal music is coming back. It's
Yeah.
always like a wave. And when you take it, then you're in. So it's just the right time, I think. And yeah, So later on, 1 year later, I joined the band. As initially, I was just playing bass and drum programming, and then I just started to write riffs, and just entered the fucking project, and yeah, then everything started.
So who are the old Italian death metal bands that you wanted to release? Because I bet you Kenny's got them behind him.
I can't say this, unfortunately. I wish I can say
Oh, you can
right now, but I can't now. But I will release it at some point. You guys will see it.
I bought
So yeah.
one. It was a while back. I bought one. It's a band. It wasn't Italian. It was a band from New York. Body Bag. It was
What?
the Body Bag demos.
They were from
New York.
Portland. From
Yeah,
Portland.
Portland. And as
Yeah,
I bought them
Portland.
off you, I'd never heard them
Yeah.
before, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing." Very
Yeah, I released
rough,
the first.
raw.
Yeah, I released the first 2 demos, and then we did like the CD compilation with 4 demos inside, which is insane. Especially the second demo, the demo called Severed Existence, is one of the best ever, man. It has like the white cover with like a body and like the logo. It's insane, man. Yeah, Body
I
Bag, so
think
good.
it was I bought that in the T-shirt from you, and that was years ago.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
sick, man. I didn't know that. The white one?
I've
Right
got-
T-shirt. It's up. In fact, I've got that one, and I've got the black one of the second demo as well.
Cool, man. Didn't know that. That's sick.
I'm telling you, he's a freak of nature. I'm telling you.
I've got what 1,000 something tapes behind me.
Damn, man. It's a lot of tapes.
A lot of money, but a lot of history. But we'll go back to Dead of Winter for a wee second. You enlisted Ryan Mills of Graveghoul and Seven Doors on guitar for you. So was this something else that was discussed when out at Kendo on that fateful night in Edinburgh, or had you already established connections with Ryan?
With Ryan, I think no, it was already before. I mean, I was already in contact like after the first album, L'inizio di un incubo, in 2022. Yeah, I think it was the first album because as soon as it came out, this guy was already fucking covering the songs on guitar like the day after, and so on with every single release. And so he was like buying every type of merch I was releasing. So I mean, it just happened, we started like texting each other because he had like a few riffs for a new project he was working on.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "Yo, I have like a band who was like totally inspired by yours." I was, what the fuck? So he sent me like a few songs of the first EP. And man, I mean, I love it. I mean, it's my type of thing, it's like the riffs I wrote, So I love his like vision. I love his passion that he also has. He's like me, like we have different projects. We do a lot of things, so we have a lot of in common musically and also with movies and stuff. And then we met for the first time. I think it was 1.5 year ago in London because there was Fritzi playing the entire. Fritzi was the Italian horror composer for Lucio Fulci movies, who did the soundtrack for The Beyond and also for Zombie 2, Zombie Flesh Eaters. So we met in London. There was this concert inside that old chapel where they were like screening the movie, and Fritzi was playing with his band under the movie, which was insane. And since that, man, we just remain in contact. I was releasing his stuff with Dismal Fate. We did the first 2 demos, and then last year in September, I released the CD compilation. And I mean, when this thing came out, when the news came out about this festival in Scotland that Gravego was playing as well, their debut show, he just asked me, I mean, you need like a second guitar player? I was like, of course I need. And as soon as I sent him like the set list, he already knew almost every single song. So, it was like natural, it just happened. It was perfect, man. So it was also good. It was like, I mean, that's why I'm gonna keep him also for live future shows, because we are not playing that much live, and
I hope he's found
we
his
only
passport
play.
yet.
Yeah, he found it, so
What, has
he
he
can
found it?
like travel. Yeah, I found it. So he can like travel. I mean, we have a couple of shows later this year in Italy planned, and he will hopefully, join in and help us. I mean, it's insane. It's cool, man. I mean, why not?
I
He's
was
the
going,
right guy, you know?
I was going to keep this question for later on then. But since you've seen his shout out to Ryan Wills, and you've got to see his like YouTube channel, Freudstein,
Shut up.
and the amount of Tenebro songs that he does in it. Would you allow him to record, like send you a couple of riffs for a song or something like that, or is it just completely your project and you'll just hire him for live, or would you
No, of
welcome ideas
course.
from him?
No, I definitely would like. I mean, if he wants me in it, like for example, he's gonna have like the Tenebro singer in his first debut record. I don't know if you guys saw the news. So it's always cool to have like, I mean, in the reality, I already asked him.
Yeah,
He will be featured in the next album
right.
for some solos because I suck at guitar. I just started to play guitar when I started when I joined in Tenebro, because I'm mainly a drummer, you know.
Yeah,
So I started to play guitar like a few years ago. So solos for me is like too much, man. I mean, so he's very talented and he knows what I like. He knows what I want. So he will like play in some songs on the next record. So yes, to answer your question.
cool.
And if he has riffs and he wants to share them, I don't think he wants, because I mean his riffs will be like engraved gold, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
One of
but
his other 30 projects that he's got.
yeah,
yeah, exactly, yeah.
yeah.
So I mean, why not? I mean, if he wants, I would say yes, of course, man.
Cool, cool, cool.
Yeah.
That's great. Thanks for coming back, guys. And yeah, I've done a wee bit of talking. Kenny, do you have any questions for this man, since he's a vocalist and he understands the pressures and the tribulations that you have to go through?
Well, we're going to go back to that fateful day in Glasgow. When you were doing the vocals, I noticed you had a pedal at the front of the stage. You were using this just to find out what it was and what effects it used. And as a vocalist myself, I tend to use the sound engineer, but I have got one of these, which is a Boss
Yeah.
V20,
Yeah.
which basically gives you compression, pitch shift, reverb, delay, phase. There's that much stuff on it. I don't even know how to use half of it. But
Yeah.
was it a similar thing you were using yourself?
So yeah. Anyway, so it depends on what I'm normally doing, which project, of course. Normally, I'm not using any effects. Like, for example, with Sepulcro, I have like my voice straight, just a little bit of reverb, you know. But to match, you know, the original Tenebro voice, I need like to have it even lower, because my growl is not that low. It's not that kind of Mortician style, you know. So yeah, I mean, this one. Then I also have this, which is like a reverb, you know, and that's it. I mean, nothing else.
Straight
And the only
guitar pedal, you
problem,
know?
yeah, the only problem is then, for example, with Tenebro and live shows, when I have like the scream parts, I have to remember, you know, to click on it to
Not
switch it
the,
off.
yeah.
And in Scotland, the stage was full of blood. So every time I was
Oh,
like,
yes, I
hitting it,
know, because I had to mop it up and it took me an hour and a half to mop it all up.
Wow.
I'm sorry. But so yeah, every time I had like to press it, I was always like slipping on it, you know, it was fuck, you know. So yeah. Plus the cable, I mean, it was insane. There was like blood everywhere, but yeah, I mean,
It's a great
it
night.
is what it is, man.
It was a great
It is what
night, man. It's one of those gigs that will live in infamy.
I
Absolutely.
mean, you know, in live shows, it takes I mean, just a little to change all the whole atmosphere. And I think that what many bands lack nowadays is it's not just a concert. It's just it's also an experience. You have always to find something more to make the people enjoy the show. And for example, with blood, with just a little blood, I mean, you can change everything. People hate it, people like it, and it's funny, I mean, nowadays there are not that many bands who use blood because, of course, many venues don't allow it because it's a fucking mess to clean it up. It's not my problem. I'm sorry.
No, it was part of the experience.
The thing, what happened in Scotland is the same thing that happened also in Germany. That at some point I was so much into the show that I kicked like the bottle behind me full of blood. I remember in Germany when it happened, the whole blood was like on the drums, which was insane. I mean, I probably ruined someone's drums. And the same thing happened also in Scotland. I don't know why. I remember I just like turned around and I kicked the bottle, and luckily the blood just stayed like around the drums, not over it, because it was like
it soaked into the rug under the drum kit.
Yeah.
The rug.
So I was mopping up using. I brought a load of towels with me.
Sorry?
I brought a load of towels and sheets for my business. So that's how we had the sheets over the monitor. And I think I helped Kelvin mop the blood up for about an hour and a half before that club night came on. And like the guys trying to set up the DJ booth, mopping up all this fake blood.
I bet you've still got the sheets. I bet you've still got them.
No, they were
but the sheets, it's like nothing. I think you had to use like plastic bags, the big black ones, and to put them on the monitors and on the floor, because the sheets after one song they were already drenched in blood, and people were like jumping off the stage. So
we went straight in the bin.
But are you just talked about that then? And I know that the Scotland show was your second show with Tenebro. Are you relatively new when it comes to doing live shows? So was that quite a nervous experience for you? Like, what did you do before you went on stage to try and calm the nerves?
Honestly, nothing. I mean, no. The thing is that, for example, if I have to sing, I mean, I don't have to do anything. I mean, come on, I'm just a singer. I mean, that's why I choose to not play any instrument. So finally, I can have some fun, because normally I'm the drummer. In live shows, being a drummer it's a painful thing. I mean, you cannot have fun because you cannot drink, because then you have not breath. You have to start to warm up. Then you have to, when the show is finished, you have to to put back, the cymbals, the snare, it sucks, man. Being a drummer for live shows, it sucks. But so I decided to sing, so I could have fun, stay with the people and stay at the merch table. In fact, the other guys who played in Tenebro for the gig, they were like all in the backstage at some point, getting ready and blah blah, I was just staying there having fun, it's
typical fucking vocalist. Did you even help the guys set up their equipment or anything like that?
No, man.
I must be one in a million, because I help all the other guys.
No, man. I mean,
it was the night before I took the drum kit into Glasgow. After the storm had died down, I took the drum kit into Glasgow and set it up.
Wow.
I'm not even a drummer, and it's my drum kit.
No, I mean, even at the gig on Saturday with Scordatura, fair play to Daryl, he helped the drummer quite a lot, but we were looking at Hannah's, lazy bastard. Anyway,
at least I'm honest.
But I remember you saying, and you've touched on it a wee bit at the beginning of the interview, but I remember you saying in the first interview that you had about 50 songs to release in the last few years. So does that mean that some of the songs are a lot older than your first official demo release called Demo. And by the way, I love the fact that you called your release Demo. You should carry that on when you do your album titles, like call it album number 3. Never mind the Italian senses that I've got to try and pronounce. Are some of the songs
we don't
older than
have any.
2019?
We have any words, I mean, Italian words to say demo, so it's demo. I mean, there is no other way,
Yeah.
But I mean, the 3 songs on the demo were older songs, and there are also 2 songs on the first album, which I can't remember which ones because I suck at names and I suck remembering which songs because, as I told you, we released so many ones that I cannot remember who wrote which and connected titles with the songs because once the release is released, I never go back and listen to them. Only if we have to get ready for the shows, I mean,
Okay.
you have to compose the song, you have to record them, you have to listen to the mixes. I mean, you're done. I mean, once it's released, it's already old stuff,
So you don't listen to Tenebro in the car then when you go to work?
No,
no,
not at all. No, not at all. I mean, I'm already sick of it, man. I mean, you know what it means? Fucking playing every single instrument and recording it. Oh, damn! It's it's too much. So anyway, yeah, there are like a few songs which are older, but I think 3 demo songs plus 2 of the album, just 5 songs.
Yeah.
From back then, but the other ones are new.
Is the next album going to be more Italian horror, or are you going to branch over into?
No, it's going to be, the next album is going to be, I cannot spoiler that much because I'm not allowed because of the new label, but I can give you some hints. For example, obviously it's always be like an Italian horror concept because, I mean, Italian horror is like the base for Tenebro,
Yeah.
But many thought it was supposed to be something about Joe D'Amato, which won't be about Joe D'Amato. We decided to, I can't say who, but you can get it very easily. We decided to take one movie director, and homage him in this album. He's the king of the Giallo movies, so I cannot say who, but if you're like an Italian horror nerd, Giallo, you will understand who this guy is. So yeah, it's gonna be like a concept dedicated to.
I'm not gonna say because it could get him into trouble.
Yeah.
You can say. I'm not saying yes or no. You can say whatever you want. So I mean, the thing is that I told you. So it's gonna be like just one. It's gonna be many movies. I think it's not many that much, but 4 movies. But it's always the same director, and it's gonna be a homage also because one of his movies just turned 50 years old this year, which is one of the most iconic Italian movies ever, also worldwide. And it's gonna be like the last one. I mean, it will always be brutal, but
that's
we
what I
are
was going to ask you.
starting
What are the
to
subtle
use
differences from your new album compared to the last album? What would you say the subtle differences are?
So let's say that the first 2 albums, in my opinion, are pretty different because, for example, the first one was it was mainly groove, and in the few blast beats in it were like Mortician copy and paste. It was like brutal. The second one, it's more, even more vicious. Also, the sound is totally different from the first album. So I think that the third one is gonna be a mix. It's gonna keep like the rawness of the first album and the brutal part of the second one. But what we are gonna have now is some necrophagia style melodies, some not saying doom parts, but there will be like some slow parts, some heavy slow parts.
Good.
With some necrophagia melodies style, which is like my favorite band ever. So I mean, and yeah, I think that's just a little bit, which is not a bit like a commercial thing. I'm not saying that we are changing our style. I'm not at all. It's gonna be always the same, but we want to add some eeriness, so creepy things, some atmosphere, because these movies need some tension. I
Yeah.
mean, these movies have a lot of tension because are Giallo movies, and Giallo movies have tension, and yeah. So
I'm going to say the name, but is it
you can say
Argento
whatever you
stuff?
want. I won't say yes or no. You can say whatever
I've
you
got a
want.
feeling it's Argento stuff, but you can't tell me if it is or it isn't.
That's some
I don't
smile you've
know.
got there, Hannah. Is that some smile you've got there?
Who knows?
But Kenny, I presume, like he's saying that Necrophagia is like his favourite band. I take it like you've got the first ever demo or something like that behind you or something. You've got some
Give me 2 minutes, I could dig something. 2 seconds. Yeah.
See, that's what he's like. That's what he's like. But with all those songs then, and with all the new songs, when it comes to like playing live, it must be one hell of a problem to create a
Absolutely.
40-minute set list for you.
Yeah, the problem is that because
See
before
what?
before
There
the
you go, that's
second
about as
album.
far as I've got back.
Look, wait a second. I have to show you something about it.
Oh, he's going to one up you, Kenny. He's going to one up you.
I'm glad someone's doing this, is it?
If I can find it.
This is
Because
going
I have
into
so
the
much
show
shit.
yours, I'll show you mine section of this interview.
Wait a second, because of Necrophagia, I'm such a nerd that I collect every single repress, which is
Nice.
insane.
Is it
It's like
the Hell's Headbangers one?
no, it's better. It's
Oh, it's
better than
better. Oh,
something
he's
that
one up me here, boss.
nobody has. I
He's
have
got like
like
a
some
fucking
unique
test press or
pieces.
something.
Yeah.
Wait a second. Damn, I think that I have around like 30 or 40 vinyls by Necrophagia.
Bloody hell.
Wait.
I'm lucky if I've got about 3.
No, man, I mean, I suck, man. I mean, I'm collecting every single thing. Okay, found it. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
So, I have a piece that only 5 persons in this world have. And mine comes from Killjoy himself. This is the test press of Season of the Dead, singed by him.
Oh, that is so cool.
Before he passed away. So, yeah, this is the OG.
I'll give you £10 for it. I'll give you £10.
The only thing I've got, and I don't know if I stuck it in here, was
That's frightening. Absolutely frightening.
Yeah, man. I have a shit ton of stuff by Necrophagia. I have like literally everything. Demos. Original demos. Which are like so rare because back then they were like pressing 30 pieces for each demo.
Have you ever put them on Discogs to find out what they're worth?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's frightening.
A lot of money.
Yeah,
a lot of money, yeah.
And when you start doing that, your house insurance starts going up.
Yeah.
Because that's what happened here.
So yeah.
Yeah.
For example, with Necrophagia, of every release, I have every repress, every single one, and I also collect like T-shirts, merchandising. I think I have around 50, 60 T-shirts by Necrophagia because I also collect dubs.
The only thing that's a bit weird, like out the thingy, is when we played Glasgow last time, and it was not long after he passed away. I've got the set list signed with him. And
yeah. I went to the show in Italy. Yeah, it was 2017, I think.
Yeah,
it was cool. I also have the set list too. Yeah.
Yeah, it was I think they were supporting Entombed AD.
Mm-hmm. No, I think it was with the I Am Morbid. They were opening. I mean, in Italy they were opening for I Am Morbid.
It was. I think it was Voivod and Entombed AD over here. If I remember right.
Oh, really? Cool, man.
Yeah.
It was like it's a bit of a bittersweet one because it was like that was like Killjoy's not here and LG's not here anymore. And,
yeah. Yeah.
So I remember when I saw Necrophagia, funny story. So I was already in contact with Killjoy, the singer. I was 20 years old or 19. No, I think already or 18 years old. 18 when I started to be in contact with him. I was already a huge fan. And he saw like my collection. I was spending every single money to buy everything. So we were like we become friends. He started to send me some free merch. He was sending me like some rare stuff. And when we met for the first time in this tour in 2017, as I said, they were opening for I Am Morbid, and I went like before the show, a few hours before, to meet him and to speak with him, and he also signed me some vinyl, some stuff like this test press here.
Yeah.
And there was at some point I went inside the club. Near him was Dave Vincent, the ex-singer of Morbid Angel, I Am Morbid, and Vincent was so pissed off because everyone was going to Killjoy to ask a picture and to sign his like vinyls, and nobody went to him to ask something. And at some point, Vincent looked at us and said, "Hey guys, the Rockstar is here." I was, what the fuck, man?
Yeah,
I mean,
the last time I seen him, he didn't even come out to speak to the fans. He hid out in the bloody tour bus.
damn,
Never
man,
even
yeah,
it's like I've got no time for people like that. It's
he
like,
literally said the Rockstar is here, man. I was
Yeah.
like,
nah.
dude, are you real? What the fuck, man?
Well, you should
And
have
Killjoy it was so funny because he was like so short. He was wearing a Motley Crue t-shirt. He also sang with a Motley Crue t-shirt, and he had like like some shorts with flip-flops, and he also sang with fucking flip-flops. And Vincent was there, all like acting cool, like a real fucking cowboy,
Yeah.
He's living like in Texas now, so yeah,
Fuck.
And
he was out
Killjoy
drinking
gave
with the
a
devil.
fuck about it. It was so funny, man.
Yeah, yeah. But that takes us back, since you're talking about set lists, how easy or difficult is it to do a set list for a
Oh,
Tenebro show?
sorry, yeah. So
Oh, I'm enjoying
anyway,
these weird stories.
so the
Absolutely.
problem is that when the second album was coming out, we played our first show, and as I told you, we weren't supposed to be like a live band at all.
Yeah.
So certain songs for live show sound better and some no. So the first album has a lot of slow parts and a lot of very, very fast parts, which is very difficult to find like a live drummer who can play such like fast blast beats. So after the second album, with the last with last mini EP and with the split we released on Halloween last year, I started to write songs that fit more for live shows, because for Tenebro, I want people to have like literally a blast. So we want to have like some fast songs, but not too much fast songs, I mean,
Yeah.
like tupa tupa tupa, some. So everything also changed now. When I write songs, I always have to keep in mind we have to play them live. So I cannot go that fast, I don't want to go too slow because then people will be bored. So when I'm looking like which song we have to choose for live shows, I'm always trying to find a midway song. I don't want people to get bored, and you don't want like slow songs. I want something fast, that people
Fast
cannot
energy,
stop.
keep it going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
live you need energy. If I put like some slow songs in it, if I start to write like slow songs,
Yeah.
I mean, it's maybe on the record it's cool because it gives some atmosphere, but for live shows you cannot stop, you have to
Sucks the
keep
air
the
out of the
energy.
room.
So
Yeah.
yeah, no
Yeah.
rest.
I know
Because
that experience.
yeah, because usually I ask like every member of the band, what's the one song off the set list that they're looking forward to playing the most? So is there always going to be a song on your set list that's always going to be on the set list?
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately, you have, fortunately. So it's always the same story. I mean, people like mostly certain songs that the artists don't like anymore. For example, a stupid like example. Metallica, they have to play fucking Seek and Destroy for more than 40 years, which is such a boring song. Imagine playing 40 years the same fucking song. So, so you have to keep in mind, I mean, what people normally, I mean, want to hear. So I'm always basing the set list on what I see people, sharing, or which songs they want, or some stupid things like, for example, Spotify and shit, which are the most famous songs, what people want.
Yeah.
But yeah, for example, the song that everybody listen to is about from Tenebro, is the first song of the first album, which is called Quella la Villa, which is about the house by the cemetery by Lucio Fulci, the movie. It's the most famous one, which is also the one that I hate the most. And now we have like to play it every single show in the future, which pisses me off a lot. Or for example, the second one, the other one is Carne Umana of the first mini EP of the Cannibal Dude before the album, which was a song I wrote in fucking 15 minutes for real. It's so stupid. I mean, it's such a stupid song. And I don't know why it has so many thousands of fucking streams and people want it. I mean, it's always the same story, I mean, you can be like to focus yourself to write something serious, stay there like for fucking days and days and days working some good riffs, but people always want like the basic shit. So yeah, I mean it's difficult to choose. I mean, we play maximum 50 minutes, 1 hour, and Tenebro songs are quite long mostly. So it's always difficult to pick up like 10, 11, or 12 songs when you have such a already big catalog. So yeah,
You're about to add
I
10
mean,
more songs to it with a new album and an EP.
but yeah, what I did with the last concert in Scotland and also the one we did 2 weeks later is to ask the guys who play the live shows for Tenebro which one they want. I was like, I'm an open book. Choose whatever you want and tell me what could be. I mean, I ask them. I'm not the
Yeah.
one who's choosing everything, because I'm just singing. The other guys also have to play. So I asked them and they said, no, this is fine. That this one doesn't work in the set list. So, I'm always asking to other people too, so.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want to be responsible if the set list sucks, I'm asking to other
I
people.
presume you go through the same shit, Kwando, when you're singing like Strip Clean and stuff like that. It's always going to be in your set list as well, isn't it?
That's never going to go away now. The thing is, though, I still enjoy singing that song, even though I probably sang that more than I can count now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think people are now more, it's the stories that I put along with the songs now.
Yeah.
It's like, I think people are now, it's like the new song Kemper we've got. It's like everybody, it's like, this song's about a very misunderstood gentleman. And as soon as you hear that, they all go, Kemper! They're like, oh, here we go. This is never going to be list. But nah, it's.
Yeah, listen, as somebody that stands in the crowd, I'm so jealous of what you two guys can do on the stage and seeing people going absolutely shit to your music and stuff like that. So I'm so jealous of what it is that you guys do. So fair play to you. But we're going to have a wee bit of a sideways move. You talked about it a wee bit in our first interview, but would you like to tell everybody what could possibly happen in a cinema in Milan in January?
So it's not going to be in January, but it's going to be in March because they confirmed the dates the other week.
Okay.
So it's not confirmed yet. I mean, they didn't announce it yet, but I can already maybe say that what's going to be.
Yes.
but don't tell anybody. I mean, anyway.
Out to the world right now.
So the news is that on the 28th of March we are gonna be playing at the FulciCon, which is like a convention about Lucio Fulci.
Yeah.
That they already did like this year in January. And it's gonna be like 2 days. One day they are just screening some Fulci movies with some actors and actresses that were like on his movies. And there will be, I don't know who, but there will be like someone who played on his movies, not Fritzi this time, but another one. And on the second day there will be just live music. And it's gonna be cool, man. It's gonna be freaking cool. So cannot wait, because this year it was sold out.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people also coming from all over Europe, which was insane. Because I mean, it was just the first edition. It's not that big. It's pretty like a small cinema, so it's pretty limited. Yeah, man, I can't wait. Cannot absolutely wait.
Well, I think, Kenny, after this interview, we're going to look at flights to Italy.
Well,
I mean, Ryan is coming. I think Ryan is coming, so because he has to play.
This was another thing that happened. See, after the winter, right? Everyone. So, right, you guys got Tenebro to come over, and you guys also made Fulci come over. Can you bring the two of them over and then just have them screen movies behind them and just have them play live? And I'm like,
you know what's insane? For example, I'm friend with the Fulci guys, and especially with Domenico, the guitar player, the founder.
Dom's a nice boy.
Who's also the founder of FulciCon, of this convention.
TV crowns.
And every fucking exactly. Every single time we release a new song, there's always a comment under a video. If you watch it, when are you going to do something with Fulci? Or there are like on Reddit people like starting to do asking like, who is better, Tenebro or Fulci?
Never asked that question,
guys. It's two different things, you know. And especially here in Italy, there are like people who are on our side and people who are on their side, which is so stupid and funny at the same time. Because I love reading the comments of what people are saying. Or also when we played like in Bari, in Italy, 2 weeks after the gig in Scotland, there were people like, I prefer you. I was, no, guys, I mean, you have to listen both. We are two different type of bands. I mean, we maybe have like kind of the same concept, because of they have Fulci, but we have the Italian in general. But I mean, I really wish that one day we are gonna do like a gig together.
That's
because
exactly
it's gonna be like insane. It's gonna be insane.
I think I might set this up in Scotland.
Absolutely. But what I'm worried about that is you'll have the Fulci ultras and you'll have the Tenebro ultras, and then they'll just.
And you're ready for it? See, in Scotland, nobody gives a fuck.
It's gonna be funny, because if you do something like this in Scotland, everyone in Italy is gonna hate us. For real, I'm gonna receive like threats and something like that, because in Italy every single week I get always in a DM someone asking me to do something like this in Italy. But they have their thing, we have our thing. It's not that easy to combine everything. Plus they are now always like, I mean, Fulci is getting bigger and bigger. I mean, next in about 1 month they're playing Sonic Temple in the US, opening for fucking Metallica, Rob Zombie, and I'm like, what the fuck? I mean, I'm happy for them. Finally, like an Italian band is starting to get like
starting to get some traction.
Yeah, because
you forget about Flesh God Apocalypse.
Yeah. We are known for Flesh God Apocalypse and Lacuna Coil, which they suck. But I mean, they are all bands who are, I mean, inside the scene for the past 20 and plus years. I mean, there are no new bands who are coming out from Italy nowadays, because I mean, Italy was pretty famous for the technical bands, for brutal technical bands. There's also
Tech
Horror
Death.
of Penance. Yeah, I mean, we were like more famous for some technical shit, not for like caveman
Do you think that's because of like
thing.
Everlasting Spew? Like,
Yeah,
the releases
yeah.
that they
My other band, Sepulcro, we signed with Everlasting, and Giorgio, the owner, is like a close friend of mine too.
Yeah.
And he started the label, I think, about 8-9 years ago. And now the label is fucking massive. I'm so happy for him because he's like helping out so many bands, and he's also signing like big bands. I mean, it's like, he's pretty big now,
They've
and
got like Scordatura, they've got Escarnium from Brazil, who I fucking love as well. Fair
yeah, he
play to
also
him.
has like Galvanizer from Finland. He has Fossilization.
Oh,
He has a lot of band.
They're a great band.
yeah. No,
It's like
And
you're
yeah,
talking
we're
about.
gonna.
You're
Sorry.
talking about Italian bands. I've got a great laugh about Guilty by Association.
How is it called?
I bought a random LP by a band
Okay.
called
Vanished
Funnest, and it's your
from where? From me?
no, it's from Italy, and it turns out it's Tommaso that plays bass for Tenebro's band.
Sorry, you
No one told us
said
what.
Finest. Sorry, you said Finest.
It's my band, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. He's also playing like in so many bands
He said
because
that I just,
Maso. Yeah, he has like a recording studio in Milan, which is so funny because it's like he rent to garage under a supermarket, the car garage, the boxes,
yeah,
and he has like his own studio there. And like nowadays, all extreme bands from Italy are all going there like to record like the demo or EPs or album, whatever. And he's also playing like in all of these bands too. He's playing doom metal bands. He's playing like brutal death bands, in black metal bands. He's like the main guy, that everyone knows because of his recording studios and because he's playing like literally everywhere. So he's also like the guy of Larve, guys, the new band, which is so
I've got their
sick.
demos in the in the draw and that as well.
Yeah, man, there's another sick band from Italy that I hope everyone starts to listen to it because it had some necrophagia type of vocal style, which the singer is a woman. It's called Vita. She's like amazing.
The music videos that they put up on YouTube are just nasty, sick. Man, I was like, oh, I love this.
Yeah. They're finally releasing the new EP, I think next month via Unali Domain, which is another Italian label. They're releasing it on CD and tape.
It's
and
over
in the
here
UK,
on Masako.
vinyl.
Yeah,
Yeah, the vinyl.
That's putting it on. Yeah, it's Jesus that's putting it out on Masako.
Yeah, Italy is pretty strong. We have, nowadays we have a lot of bands which finally are getting recognition, also around Europe. And
absolutely.
We have Burial. Burial is under Everlasting Spew. Morbus Grave, which is like the band of which is the singer of Bava.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, we have so many bands, and the problem is that we don't have that many gigs here anymore because most of the clubs closed, since the pandemic.
Yeah.
Nothing is going on, unfortunately. It sucks, but what can you do?
Right. Thanks very much for joining us once again. This is going to be a long interview, but thanks for sticking us with us. And it is an absolute pleasure, mate, for doing this. I'm so grateful that you decided to come on. And Kwando, you had nothing better to do tonight anyway.
I'd be sitting watching wrestling or something.
But with you having Italian lyrics and song titles, it's plain to see that it's a homage to all the great Italian directors and films. So what do you think made Italy such a hotbed for Italian horror movies and directors? What was it, do you think?
You mean, sorry, I didn't understand what you mean. I didn't.
Like with all the Italian
Yeah,
directors, why do you think
yeah.
like Italy was such a hotbed? Like, why do you think it was like so popular in Italy?
I mean, you mean horror movies?
Yes.
Why they were so popular? Honestly, I have no idea, but the thing is that before all the Hollywood thing, Italy was well known, in the cinema since like their 30s, 40s, because we have a massive culture in every single thing. I
Yeah.
mean, literally. I mean, I mean, if you think about the 50s and 60s, we were like on the same wave of Hollywood. We had like in every single genre of movies, we had like it was massive. But I think the difference was the budget, of course. We never had like that much. And honestly, I don't know why, but I think that the Italians were back then, if you have to compare like Italian movies with the US ones. Italians were like nasty, man. I mean, they were like fucking nasty. They were like brutal. They had a lot of sexual scenes that in the US they didn't. So it was like a
Yeah.
mixture of things.
I
And
think
I
it was,
think that,
I think it
I
was
mean,
born out of the grind. So like the
sorry?
grindhouse came out of the grindhouse culture mostly when like American cinemas were just buying up
Yeah,
cheaper
yeah,
films
yeah,
to
yeah,
show
yeah.
in the hanging. And this is how I got into horror movies. I came through kung fu films. I absolutely adore kung fu movies. I've got thousands of them. And
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
it.
yeah.
They used to show double bills where you would get like a kung fu movie and a horror movie, and it's like some of the stuff I seen like back then. I'm like, it's how I seen demons and things like that. It's like, wow, there's a guy riding a motorcycle through a cinema with a samurai sword, chopping up demons while accepts fast as a shark is playing. It's like, what the fuck is this?
You, you know that the thing is that what people have to keep in mind is that the main difference between the Italian horror directors and the American ones is that Italians, before becoming like horror directors, they directed like many other genres. For example, Umberto Lenzi, who did Cannibal Ferox, which is his most famous one. But he did like comedy before, he did Western. Also, Ruggero Deodato of Cannibal Holocaust did like fucking comedy movies, Westerns, uh, crime movies. So every director had like, I mean, they were hungry. I mean, they didn't had like fucking months and months for record or like direct a movie. They had like a low budget. They had every time like 2 weeks to shoot a movie, and they were like shooting like 3 or 4 movies a year. And
Yeah,
sometimes, as Joe D'Amato did, he was shooting two different movies in the
side by
same
side.
day.
Yeah,
I
and
Wow.
mean,
side by side.
they were like fucking hungry, and they had to how do you say, like they had to eat. They need a salary. And Italians were also pretty good to in FX. They were pretty good to find always a way to make it happen, to make it work.
Yeah.
So they didn't have like a big cast of people. I mean, for example, Joe D'Amato, when he shot, I cannot remember if it was Erotic Nights of the Living Dead. He was also shooting the night another movie with the same fucking cast, with same people. I mean, they had to do that. I mean, and if you ask to the last survivors, I mean, of this genre, of this wave of the 70s, 60s, or 80s, for them, it's just normal. It was just work,
Yeah.
because when in the 90s movies went down, most of them, for example, Ruggero Deodato or Lamberto Bava of Demons, they went to do like TV commercials. I mean, they always had to follow what was going on. They were not like fucking, I don't know, like they didn't have like I think the only one was Dario Argento. He always stick like in the giallo way. He was the only one. But the other ones, they always changed styles. I mean, they always had like to. So I think that why are Italian horror movies famous? Because they were natural. They were like fucking.
They were wild.
I mean,
Never seen.
Italians went to a fucking jungle, man, to find a fucking tribe to shoot movies in the middle of in the Amazons, in the middle of Philippines. I mean, Italians did some crazy shit that other people didn't do, you know. So they put like everything to make this happen. So I don't know. I mean,
it kind of leads on to the next question that I have is like, what is your take on horror films today where they focus more on like jump scares? Do you think modern films have the same? Do you think modern films have the same cult feelings of those Italian horrors, like like The Exorcist, for example? You know, like, what's your take on horror today compared to what it was?
So nowadays, I think it's another vibe completely. I mean, back then, I think mainly in the 80s movies from the US, you had also like a comedy part in every like saga, on every movie. For example, Nightmare on Elm Street. It was not just horror. It was not like jump scare. It was not. They always had like some fun parts, you know. But nowadays, they're only focused on fucking jump scares. They are not building the tension. They're not building the atmosphere that back then you had. But obviously, if a movie came out in the 70s or 80s, it doesn't mean it's a good movie. There were like a lot of shitty movies also back then.
Yeah.
For example, no, I don't know. There are like movies which I love, but I love because I mean, it's so classic, but for example, Anthropophagus by Joe D'Amato, I mean, we released a split about it, okay, but the movie for 1 hour and 20 minutes, you see nothing, and then everything happens in 10 minutes, and then the movie is finished, you know. But nowadays, they all look the same. I mean, for example, I don't like all the paranormal things that they are adding in every single movie. I mean, every single movie, there's always like some spirit. And I mean, I don't know. I feel like they are just doing them because of making something happen, getting some money or whatever.
But they're franchise driven now.
Yeah, if you look nowadays, they're only releasing remakes over remakes, and because they cannot find something new. I mean, the only thing that I kind of like post 2000s is the found footage vibe, you know, those one filmed with just one camera.
Yeah.
I like those because they kind of look real.
Yeah.
And the first one who did it was Ruggero Deodato in Cannibal Holocaust, because half movie was like filmed like with one camera, which then they did in Blair Witch Project in the late 90s.
I think the only modern one that I've really bothered about was the Evil Dead remake.
Yeah.
And that was good.
It was good, yeah, from 2013, I think.
And then you had the follow-up.
Also, the last one who came out a few years ago, 2 years ago. How was the name of the
Evil Dead Rise? That's good.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed that.
I mean, some movies are not that bad, you know. I mean, not everything is trash, but most of I mean, for example, the first Conjuring that they did like 10 years ago was good. The first one, they shoot like in Transylvania, in Romania, was pretty good, but then the other ones, they all were like too much for me.
It seems like they just churn them out for the sake of churning it out. It's like, here's another film for that universe, and it's like, this is garbage.
Yeah. Also, like, for example, the last Halloween movies, I mean, dude, stop. You already released like 10 fucking movies. I mean, I don't get it. I mean, when they continue with this same franchise. But for example, one good movie, I think it's the Terrifier saga. I mean, I like finally the slasher style is coming back. I mean, I love the first one. Second was a bit. The third one, I liked like the scenes. I mean the gory scenes, but the story is not that good for me, in my opinion. But I'm happy that finally, like, some slasher is finally coming back, because the last one was maybe Scream. I mean, the most famous one
Yeah.
was like more than
Wes
20 years
Craven's
ago.
eye. Yeah.
Yeah, Scream was probably the last one. So
Yeah.
Terrifier is cool. I mean, I'm happy for them because the first one was shot with such a low budget. They're now literally making fucking millions with the whole franchise, which is good. I mean, I hope that nowadays they bring back, you know, the gory, the splatter style.
Yeah.
For example, in the 80s, Brain Dead. I mean, something like this where you see blood everywhere, you know. So yeah, hopefully. But maybe, yeah, Terrifier's the best one of the last 10 years for me.
I think
But
what
yeah,
needs
it
to happen
depends.
is they need to go back to using practical effects again.
Yeah, not the CGI shit.
CGI's
Yeah,
ruined everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
One of my favourite Italian films is The Bronx Warriors.
Okay, oh, cool.
Right,
Okay.
and the special effect they use, there's a lot of people get killed in this film by people using flamethrowers. Now, they're actually shooting flamethrowers at people in real life, but what they're using is perspex ballistic shields to hide behind. And you can see the shield during the hit. I'd be like, they're shooting a flamethrower at this guy for real, and you're like, Jesus Christ, how
They
did
didn't give a fuck, man. I mean, they
No,
were
that was
just
it.
straight. It was
Straight
it,
up
man. It was just
mad.
one take. Fuck it. If you ruin it, then it's your fault. I mean, that's why, man. I mean, Italians just didn't give a fuck about everything. I mean, when I met some horror directors like Lamberto Bava a few years ago, and also Michele Suavi of Cemetery Man and Deliria and The Sect, The Church, and they always said that back then there were no rules, you know? I mean, they had this budget, you had to do this, only one take, because they didn't have enough film, you know, enough tape. So it was insane. If you think, I mean, nowadays the standards, I mean, come on. I mean, back then they didn't have stuntmen. So
The thing that I find funny about like the zombie movies, for example, is like they take 10 minutes to cross the bloody road to catch you.
yeah. Yeah, because they need like to have more length for the movie, because most of the Italian horror movies didn't have like a real story. Most of them were like rip-offs of American movies, because what Italian were good were to rip off other people with other movies with less money. I mean, for example, when Mad Max came out, the first one, I think it was from Australia. I mean, Italians, Umberto Lenzi, Joe D'Amato, Ruggero Dato did like a lot of movies rip-off of Mad Max, you know.
There was a massive Mad Max rip-off culture.
Yeah, I mean, and they are so funny to watch, because I mean, it looks like they're in a fucking desert, but they're like in Rome, you know, like in a fucking land somewhere, acting like they were in fucking, I don't know where. But
the New Barbarians is one of the ones that I can remember. And
yeah.
It's Fred the Hammer Williamson's like wearing the most ludicrous outfit. It's like American football pads with spikes on it, and everyone's carrying bows and arrows, driving these stupid little buggies.
But but for example, have you ever guys watched like the spaghetti western, which are like the rip-offs of the real westerns?
Yeah. Samurai films.
Yeah, but if you look like, you know, spaghetti western is like a subgenre of western, for those who doesn't know. That Italians did like in the 60s and the early 70s. And what's cool about them is the main difference between the American ones and the Italian ones. The Italian ones are so fucking violent. I mean, Italians always were like, I mean, if there was like to kick someone in the balls or like to punch somebody, Italians were always like the first one. I mean, it was so, I mean, it's insane. I mean, Italians, I mean, if you look at, for example, in the Giallo movies, it's shocking nowadays, because you always see like husbands like punching wives, like it's normal. I mean, the shocking culture from Italy from the 70s was insane. I mean, if you compare to other movies, I mean, the language, I mean, yeah, whatever they did, I mean, it's insane. I mean,
that was one of my favorite like spaghetti westerns, and Tarantino remade or reimagined it. Django never get
yeah,
released.
the
Didn't get
Django,
released.
yeah, the Django.
Wow.
Didn't get released in this country for years because it was that violent.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
really?
it's-
Yeah,
yeah.
because the UK is famous for the nasty movies.
Yeah, we had
For
the video
example,
nasty list, and
because I remember if you buy some movies from the UK to this day, for example, I mean, I collect a lot of movies, and if you buy edition from Shameless, which is like a label from the UK, which is famous because their cases are all yellow.
yep,
If you
that
buy
good
like
favorite
movies,
films.
yeah, if you buy movies from them, it sucks because most of them are like have like censorships. Like for example, if you buy like some Django cannibal movies, you don't see like the animal scenes or other things. And also they also released like some Lucio Fulci movies, I think, yeah. And you don't have like violent scenes, even though it was like re-released like 2 or 3 years ago, because the UK to this day has like these nasty movies censorship, which is insane because it's like the only country who has this thing to this day.
Thankfully, we're not that bad now because we can actually get our films and.
Yeah.
I remember
But
years
it's
ago.
insane.
Years ago, it was a Bruce Lee box set I had, and all the scenes where Bruce Lee was using a set of nunchucks were cut out the film.
Oh fuck, man! I mean, that's the best parts. They just
So
cut
that
them.
was it. And that was when they get re-released. Everything get put back in, and some of the stuff you're like, why is that cut? Why is this cut? And then it was like, that's why the British Board of Film Classification can get.
Yeah. Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know something? I think this is going to be the longest ever interview. But we do have I still have a number of questions to ask you. But you've recorded your albums in Dismal Fate Crypt. Yeah. So would you like to
Which
tell
is
us
my
more
bedroom.
about the studio? Yeah. Would you like to tell us more about the studio? And
So
do other bands record there as well?
Nope, because it's my bedroom. No, anyway, no. So the thing is that the Dismal Fate Crypt should be like my laundry room, okay? Where I have all like where I pack like all the orders of my label Dismal Fate. But it's literally my bedroom. The real Dismal Fate Crypt is my bedroom because I have like my drum kit near the fucking bed. I had like a real drum kit before, like an acoustic one.
Yeah.
But neighbors started, to fucking be pissed because of blast beats and stuff like that. So I have now like an e-drums, the electronic drums, how you say it in English, and have my amplifiers, everything. And I record everything in this room, man. I mean, if I need to record like a real drum, I have my drum kit, but it's not here. But I bring it back, and
is it always going to be that way? Would you like experiences of going to like studios and recording an album, or are you quite happy doing?
I went, but the thing is that I like to have fun. I mean, recording, it's like a pain in the ass, but at the same time, it's funny. I mean, you can try different things, and I also do mixing. I never record any other bands. I always did my projects because I don't think I'm that good. I mean, I know what I want, so I do what I want and what I feel. So
it's funny how you don't think you're that good, but you saw the crowd reaction at Dead of Winterfest.
I mean, I'm just doing what I like, and I mean, one day maybe I'm gonna have a studio, but who knows, I mean.
Yeah.
But nowadays with home recording, you don't need that much equipment. I mean, you just need a fucking DAW and a computer, and you can just do whatever you want,
I'm not old. I can remember the old Tascam 8 tracks,
Yeah.
2 tracks with cassette. Real old school demo recording. Oh, made an arse of it. Rewind the tape, restart.
Yeah. For example, every single release that I played on, most of them, except for maybe 2 releases, they were recorded like in this bedroom, which is insane because I think a release like where I play on like on dozens of releases. Like for example, on the second demo of the Italian band Burial, that doom band we spoke before, I recorded drums for them. And it was also recorded here, everything. I mean, it's just a room, so where I sleep. I stay all the day. So yeah, I mean, I call it Dismal Fate Crypt because it's the same room where I started, Dismal Fate, my label, and everything. So yeah, nothing special, nothing fancy.
I can't say anything where I'm sitting right now is where I record vocals when me and Dave do the gouger stuff. So that's it. Dave sits at this exact spot with his laptop and we hook the mic into the focus right and go for it.
That's the thing. Before COVID, you wouldn't have thought of this. Since COVID, everything's changed, so it is what it is. But I'm scared to ask this question now because I know it's going to last like another 40-minute section or something. So some of your releases are homages to directors and films. So for example, I hate this, Traje de Valencia Carnal is a tribute to Sergio Martino's Torso, and Paura is being a homage to City of the Living Dead. Before I ask you the question, I have to mention a project called The Living Dead in the Netherlands, who released a 4.5-hour album called The Living Dead, based on that film. You have to listen to that. You also
How is it called, the band?
The Living Dead.
Oh, The Living Dead? Okay.
And if you go into the Bandcamp, it's Name Your Price, and it's 4.5 hours of death metal, as well as your intros and your keyboards and stuff like that.
4.5 hours?
4.5 hours, and it's Name Your Price.
What the fuck, man?
You have to listen to it. I played
the guy is a workaholic, so he is. I think he just went for it.
He's got a black metal project as well. He's got a black metal project as well. That's a 5.5-hour album. It's just crazy, man. So shout out to Yalko.
But how many songs are like 50, 60 songs, 70? Or how many songs
there's like
are
20.
there?
There's like 14-minute songs, 20-minute songs, and all the rest of it. Crazy. You have to listen to it.
Like Dream Theater.
Yeah, you have to listen to it. There's
also, check it out, man. I listened to it one night. It was an experience.
You've also got Aortic Rupture from Belgium. So you love your Mortician, obviously. You have to listen to Aortic Rupture. So
I have to.
Yes, yeah.
Because I'm always looking for them. Yeah, I always look like to find new horror bands. So yeah.
Look for them too. The question I have for you is, if there is the ultimate homage, who would it be for and what film? Or have you already done it?
The ultimate homage?
Yeah, so if you've got a favourite director, favourite film, but you haven't released a song on that yet, who would it be? What film? So you've done. So you've released a couple of releases where it was like homages to directors and films. But what would the ultimate be? What would be the biggest one for you?
Well, that's a tough question. I mean,
I never said this was going to be.
I'm watching there because I have all my movies here, all my Italian movies. I'm like trying to remember. I mean, I think that like the most important one will be Mario Bava, which I have like the side project Bava. That's why I wanted to have like a separate project, because I mean, if you watch online, there are so many important movie directors from the US who mention him like as the first guy, because of the gothic movies that he released in the 60s. And obviously the Black Sunday, The Mask of the Demon in 1960 was like, it started, I mean, all the gothic wave and everything. I think that Mario Bava would be, I mean, it will be him. That's why I decided to have this project, because I want to have every single EP or demo to be like dedicated, like it's like a homage to one of his movies. For example, I don't think that Baba will ever have like any albums. We will remain like we will release only like EPs over EPs and EPs, and every EP will be like a movie of him.
Yeah.
So and with Tenebro, we only have one song about him for the first album, which is fuck, I can't remember the name right now. It's something with I remember the English name. It's Baron Blood, the movie, but I can't remember which name we chose. Anyway, see, that's what happens when you have so many fucking songs about it. And Orribile, something with Orribile, which is horrible in English, in the Castello del Barone, which, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I think Mario Bava is like my main goal. Obviously, Dario Argento is like the most famous one. I mean, Argento, every single movie he released from the early 70s to the mid 90s, let's say mid 90s, yeah, were like gold. I mean, he is the guy. And I mean, the last EP was about Joe D'Amato. Joe D'Amato is one of my favorite ones because he was like such a fucking sleazy, crazy, nasty horror director. He's also like well known because he is the guy who kind of created or made famous in Italy porn, like porn movies. Like, for example, you know the actor, which is pretty well known, Rocco Siffredi, the porn actor Rocco Siffredi. He is famous because of Joe D'Amato, because Joe D'Amato in the 90s, he stopped like with horror because horror was already old, and he started like to do only like porn movies. And I mean, one of the new coming in was Rocco Siffredi. So I mean, Joe D'Amato, if you look at his movies, for example, Beyond the Darkness, which is called in Italian Buio Omega, Absurd, or Anthropophagus, especially Buio Omega, Beyond the Darkness, I mean, he always puts like some sleazy fucking scenes without a context. I mean, he always, for example, if you guys look, if you watch like Erotic Nights of the Living Dead, which already the name, you can understand what's gonna happen. Erotic Nights. I mean, it's like a porn movie, but between a scene and another one, they put like 2 minutes of horror movies just to give a bit of context, between a scene and the other one. But you have like 10-minute scenes about someone having sex with another person. I mean, because back then, because of this censorship they had mostly with the UK, most of the scene were shot like 2 times. They had like, for example, there was like a scene where they had to have sex and you saw everything, every single part that you can imagine. So they shoot like the scene where you were able to see every detail, and then they also shoot the same scene but with like trousers on, where you couldn't see anything because they already knew about what's gonna be happening with the censorship.
Male actors are the lucky actors there, aren't they?
Yeah, because they were a real scene. They were not like nowadays where they fake everything. So yeah, I mean,
so I do have 3 minutes in this section left, and we'll carry on with another. But if one director, so just to conclude on that, then, if one director, alive or dead, were to come to you and say, "I want you to record a song for my film," what would it be?
It will be probably Joe D'Amato. With Joe D'Amato, I'm pretty sure that he would like it. I mean, he is the guy. He's like, I don't know, man. I mean, he passed away, 26 years ago. But I think that nowadays he will be like a crazy dude. I mean, I don't know why. I just feel it. I just feel it.
Cool. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is one of the longest ever interviews that I have, and I do have another 5 questions to ask. So I'm scared to see where this goes. But you know what? I'm going to bloody ask them. So I noticed that you've got a very cool roster on Dismal Fate Records, which you own. So one thing
Thank you.
maybe correct me if I'm wrong, but one thing I did notice was that there are no releases for vinyl through Dismal Fate. Is that anything to do with lack of pressing plants in Italy, or is it to do with costs or delays, or what's the reason?
So I released the first vinyl a few months ago.
Okay.
2 months ago, the latest Mortuary Goal album, Norman, which is an album dedicated to Psycho of Hitchcock.
Go and get it,
And
Kenny.
it's like,
Go and get it.
Do some
Yeah, it's
advertising from you.
which is like, yeah, my first vinyl release. I mean, it's simple. Vinyl nowadays are fucking expensive to release. Oh, look, he has it.
Buy this album because it's fucking quality.
Yeah, exactly. This one, yeah. So the thing is that it's so expensive nowadays to release vinyls, and I don't know why I didn't before. Maybe it's because of the cost. Plus, I didn't want to risk. I mean, I wanted to wait for the right release. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't want to have like vinyls over vinyls stuck at home. In fact, this is a release. I released it on vinyl 2 months ago. It's almost sold out already, which I'm kind of happy. And this means that other vinyls are coming, and soon, hopefully. And then also because, yeah, if you want to print a vinyl, it takes fucking ages to be released because they have so many, bands or labels that want to release stuff on vinyl.
Yeah.
So it's like, but right now, I think nowadays the most expensive thing to release is the cassette, which I love the cassettes, but at the same time I hate them because the quality sucks and it's so fucking expensive. I mean, it doesn't make sense at all to release them anymore. I mean, if you have to split, I mean, you have to give copies to the band, you have to ship them to the band, and plus you cannot sell them at more than a certain money. I mean, it doesn't make sense. In fact, recently I'm releasing records on CD, because CD is like less expensive one and you can print. I mean, if you print 100 cassettes nowadays, it costs you like printing 300 CDs,
Okay.
And in the city, I mean, you can make money on it. I mean, if you're paying like I do, artworks for bands as well. I mean, you have to pay other things. You have to get back, with your costs and stuff like that. So vinyl, I don't know. Vinyl, I don't know why I did it before, but I just wanted to wait the right release. And this Mortuary Gold album for me is, I mean, I love it. I mean, I love the project. It's so good. I mean, it's like Mortician, but with more grooves. I mean, I love Mortician because of the grooves. So I love this band because of the grooves. So that's why this is the first band I released the tape, I released the CD, I released the vinyl, and I also released it on like a VHS format, which is like a VHS box set with inside everything, which he has somewhere. See? Exactly. So, so I did also patches, I did t-shirts, I did long sleeves, I did fucking flags. Of this release, I did literally everything I called.
The coolest thing in it was the hotel key.
Yeah, you know that I did this like it's homemade. I did it with a fucking stamp. So the keys that you see are real keys, vintage keys from the 60s. Because I wanted to like buy some keys from the fucking 60s, like the movie. So I bought like a fucking lot on eBay or don't remember where. And then the piece of wood that you see where there is like the number 1 on one side because of the room number 1 in Psycho in the logo, it was me with a fucking stamp that I did. Like it was like an insane work, man. I mean,
did you know that, Kenny?
So
Oh no, but honestly, the box is. I love it, and the sick bag. I think that's.
Yeah, the vomit one.
That's it.
Yeah.
Me and Ryan have started collecting sick bags for bands now. So I
You
think
know what's funny? That since I started to do like how you call the barf bags, the vomit bags, how you call sick bag, whatever. Since I started to doing the first one, which was like 2 years ago with Tenebro, many other labels started to do this kind of sick bags now.
Yeah, I
And
know
there's
it's
like
tough.
this kind of trend, which is insane. I love that because it means that they're coming.
I'm not opening it because it takes forever to open, but there's one in this.
I have it too, man. Look,
Yeah.
I have it too here.
Yeah,
You see that?
that's awesome.
Yeah, brilliant.
One of the best
Honestly,
box sets ever.
That's what the wife bought me for my Christmas. Best Christmas present ever.
But
So yeah, vinyls are
going
coming.
back to the vinyl thing though, like see in Scotland there was no pressing plants in Scotland, but there now is called Seabass. And the good thing about their website is it lists the packages, it shows you the prices, so it shows you how much you would get for like 100, for example.
Okay.
And
Plus, the waiting time isn't that long.
Yeah, and it's a very quick turnaround. So shout out to Seabass and have a look at them.
Yeah, the problem of the UK for me is like the fucking customs, because as the UK is not part of the Europe anymore.
Yeah.
For example, I do trades with other labels, and every single time, like with the US, I have to pay like some taxes, some stuff, because you import stuff from outside of Europe, which it's kind of bad, so
Yeah.
I recently did, like, for example, a trade with Cavernous Records from the UK.
Chris's label.
Yeah, and for example, even though if they send like a big package where they declare it's a gift and the value is like very, very low, you always have to pay like fucking $50 or 60 or whatever, which is like a pain in the ass, because if you have to resell it, I mean, it's the problem.
Somehow. That's it. You need to put the cost.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Shame, man. But when it comes to signing bands to your label, then what is the best methods for bands to be signed? Should they reach out to you with a demo, or do you approach them yourself, or is it a mixture of both? And what do you look for in a band for them to be signed to Dismal Fate?
I look for a lot of samples, horror samples.
The first Gaijin release is like half movie sample, half music.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you check like the last, I don't know how many, but the last Dismal Fate Records releases, they all have like horror type of things. I mean, I'm into horror, so I want the Dismal Fate Records remains into horror death metal.
Yeah.
Everything started a few years ago when I got like the license to re-release Necrophagia's, Holocaust de la Morte, Season of the Dead, and Black Blood Vomitorium on tape. And since that, I was like, you know what? I want to stick like into horror. I mean, to be different from other labels.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, I get emails every week from bands, and it's cool because nowadays people understood that I'm into this. So I have like many new horror bands, even young guys. There are like a lot. For example, in Italy right now, there are a lot of this scene. I'm not a younger anymore, of course. So there are like a lot of kids like who are like 14 or 15 years old, who are like starting their death metal bands, who are into horror, and they are like contacting me if I want to release their first demo that they are gonna record soon. So I like to be known as the horror death metal label,
Yeah.
So not always it's gonna be horror, because I like to re-release old demos from the 90s.
Yeah.
For example, with Body Bag or Exhumed. Not Exhumed from California that everybody knows, but always from California, but not the famous Ryan band.
Other Exhumed.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So it depends. So I just want to be like being my own and try to to mix the movies with the music. So
Well, I
yeah,
know if you were to listen to The Living Dead from the Netherlands, you're going to have a huge problem in releasing the music because it's 4.5 hours
yeah,
long.
because yeah,
So
it's too much, man.
a
I
10
mean,
CD box set or something like that. Yeah. Um,
CD's making a comeback. So
yeah,
there.
yeah.
yeah.
People want something for their money. They don't want downloads and they don't want fucking streaming.
Yeah,
So
Yeah, luckily.
absolutely. So listen, I've only got three more questions for you then. So it's probably another hour and a half. So what's happening with all your other projects, in particular for me, Sepulchro, Engrossed, and Bava? So, but what the question that I want to know is, with so many projects in the go, when you're writing music, how do you keep them all separate? So, for example, when you're writing a riff for Tenebro and then hear it and say, do you know something? That will suit something else rather than Tenebro.
So the thing is that I literally stopped the project like I did with Tenebro. I mean, the last release of Tenebro with Sepulchro. The last release with Sepulchro was in 2019,
It
Amorphous
was, and I'm
Mess.
annoyed about that, but I still see that it's active, so I want new music, sir.
So the thing is with Sepulchro, I didn't tell it before to anyone, but we record the album, our first album, after almost 15 years, twice. I mean, we recorded the first album in 2021, but once we finished the recording and the mixing, I was not satisfied. I don't know why. I mean, it changes too much. I mean, when your band, if the style completely changes. I mean, we
Yeah,
were like into Disma Incantation on the last EP, and the album was totally like a Morbid Angel worship. And so it was like, you know what? Fuck it, no. Let's like let's like pause everything and let's rewrite everything. So that's what we did, and that's what happened last November. We recorded again new songs, which will be hopefully released early next year. I
good.
cannot say that much, but finally the album is ready. I'm
Good.
currently mixing it. So after fucking 15 years, the first album is coming in. Same with Engrossed. Engrossed was like an excuse to learn to play guitar because it was like a band I started right when Tenebro kicked in.
Yeah.
But another news, I recorded last month a new release for Engrossed after 5 fucking years. So this year is gonna be insane because I have like 6 releases from 4 different bands ready to release. So I'm gonna take a massive vacation after the last month because I'm literally done. I mean,
Does that mean you're coming back
it's
to Scotland? I wouldn't advise that.
I'm coming back to Scotland. Honestly, I'm coming back to Scotland in October. So yeah,
Well,
but
October's
the
my
thing,
birthday, by the way, so I'll let you buy
oh
the first
shit.
round. uh,
Well, why not? But yeah, the thing is that when you have so many bands, it's always difficult, to find like the
yeah,
the right path when you write some riffs. So I always like stop like for a few years or a few months, it depends, and I focus on another one. So, but right now, I don't know what happened in the last month. I was pretty inspired and I came back with everything, with all my old projects. I recorded new stuff and yeah, it's gonna be insane, man. I mean, I'm very happy that this happened. I cannot
but
wait to share it with everyone.
but there is one project that there's been nothing released from yet. Hannes Grabstein.
I released an album, but it's obviously not on Metal Archives because it's not metal. It's not. It's like dark wave, which is like it's gonna be a weird project because I don't know if you know Joy Grind of Toxic Holocaust. He has his own band. Who the first album was the Yellow Goat, which is like a
Yeah.
rip-off of Buffery,
Battery
the
rip-off,
first
right?
one. Yeah. So, but if you listen to him, every release is completely different. He uses the name Joy Grind, okay, and for example, the first album, the Yellow Goat, is like fucking Buffery. If you listen to an EP he did a few years back, it's like a surf rock thing, which like what the fuck? I mean,
Beach Boys.
so H. Grabstein will be like the same thing. Every release will be like totally different. For example, I wrote some songs and also recorded them, which are like, I don't know how to explain. It's like a mixture of dark wave and Danzig.
Okay.
I know it sounds insane. It's like a mixture between Danzig, Samhain with some dark wave and
So
maybe some
is that
deco
your guilty
negative
pleasure
things.
away from death metal? Because you're always death metal, but sometimes you have to get
Yeah,
away from it. Is that your guilty pleasure?
yeah. You know what? The thing is that I'm not listening to that extreme music that much anymore recently because you know I'm so full, you know, so that's like an excuse like to relax, you know, and to find something else because for example, when I play drums, I'm playing prog music. I play, for example, my favorite bands is like The Doors. I mean, I'm not listening only metal music. I'm listening to everything, you know,
Yeah.
because if I keep to listening just one genre,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, you
Yeah.
know, it's like
The
insane.
last LP I bought was freaking Genesis's We Can't Dance.
Yeah, I mean, for example, I'm a massive. Everyone is gonna hate me because of this. I love Creed. For example,
Right.
I'm a
Thanks very
Creed
much for
fan.
joining us, Hannes. That's the end of the interview.
We're going to get cover versions of Can You Take Me Higher shortly. Can you
So
take me higher?
Oh, Jesus, fuck. That is the end of the interview.
I mean, I'm listening to everything. I don't have like, especially nowadays. When I started to play like in Sepulchro, I was 14 years old, and the other members were already like 19, 20. And I've always been like in a position where I had to be like to look like true, you know, like to look like be part of a scene, you know. So nowadays I can finally do, you know, and listen whatever I want and say whatever I want. You know, I've been lucky that since I was a kid, I had like always music in in my house because of my parents. I always listen to everything. As I mentioned before, I'm into like Creedence Clearwater Revival, The Doors, Jimi Hendrix, all that music is like what I nowadays listen daily.
Listen, Hannes, as I said several times throughout this interview, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. I do have 2 questions left, and then you can go back to doing
Okay.
what's important for you and all the rest of it. So, I know you've released a video for Fetal, but if budget was no option, what song would you love to do a horror video for, and why?
You mean for the songs that we recorded?
Correct.
So it will be like another one of, I mean, honestly, I don't know. I mean, I never thought about it. I mean, so long story short, last year, instead of going to the UK trip I did when I met Kendo, I was supposed to go to the Amazon, which is insane because I know I love like adventures and stuff like that. I always do like some solo trips around the world when I can.
Yeah.
And I was supposed to go, yeah, to the Amazon, to Leticia, which is like a city, a little town, not a city, on the south of Colombia, which is on the border between Brazil and Peru. And it was cool because it's the same city where they shot Cannibal Holocaust and Cannibal Ferox. Okay, so some places of the village that you see in the movie, they're still there, you know. So I had this thing that, you know what, I was speaking with the label back then to not last year, sorry, it was 2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. And I was supposed to, like, you know, I mean, fuck it. I mean, I'm on the location. I mean, let's like some shoot with the fucking iPhone or whatever. Yeah, some scenes where I am, and then put like a video or something. But then it just didn't happen because I couldn't go there because, I mean, of the heavy rain, you know, of the rain season that they have there, they canceled everything. But yeah, I think something in the jungle. I mean, nobody did it before, you know, like for real. I mean, that's dedication to be like to
So
be in a
what?
jungle and
So what would
I
your
mean,
horror
without a
video
heater,
be? Would it be like zombies, or would it be like cannibals, or what would it be?
cannibals, of
Cannibals,
course.
yeah.
I mean, I have a fascination with tribes, you know, cannibal tribes, and I mean, it's different because zombie, you know, everybody did this zombie thing, but real cannibals and tribes, nobody did like a video or talked about it. You know,
Yeah.
I always try to be different. You know, so I always try to come up with something
I do have to
different.
ask a
So
serious question. You don't have anybody frozen in your freezer that you
who
have for your
knows?
dinner and stuff like that, you
Who
know?
knows? That's that. No, he's not going to tell you
Who
that.
knows? Who
Well,
knows? Who knows?
I mean, that's
Are you sure? Are
I
you
may have
sure?
to edit this interview, I think.
it was.
You know,
Mm,
I did a T-shirt for Tenebro which says on the back, um, "Eat humans, not animals." You know, but the joke is that I'm vegetarian, so I don't eat for real animals, and people don't know that I did it because of that. But at the same time, who knows? You know, don't eat animals, but humans, so
Yeah,
it's different.
that's
the
cool, man.
long pig.
That's cool. But at the end of the interview, usually I ask the band what instruments they used for their album and things. But with you being the vocalist, do you do some research into what microphone that you use for the recording, or you just give me an SM58 and I'll fucking sing into it, or do you do serious research? What is your microphone?
Well,
You're 58.
SM58.
wait, I have it here. So I have two Shorebacks, so you already know. SM, what is it? 57? Yeah.
57 and 58.
And the other one, it's a fucking 58. So-
What? Oh, if it ain't broke, you know what I mean? It's the best microphone in
It's
the market.
always so. The thing is that the real story. I mean, I always use the 57 on the Tenebro albums. I only recently bought this one, the 58, because when we played in Italy a few months ago after the Scotland gig, the promoter told us that it never happened to me before, that the promoter asked us to bring our own microphone. I mean, so I didn't want to bring like my SM57 because it's like I have it for such a long time. It's like my main microphone for everything, guitars, bass, whatever you want. So they asked me to bring my own microphone, which I mean I don't know if in Scotland it's normal, but in Italy it never happened before. And I just bought it. I never used it before, only on the latest release on the new Tenebro record. But yeah, I mean I'm very simple. I mean, sure,
Vocalists
it's the
generally
best
are.
choice. Yeah,
That's
I mean it is. I mean you don't have that. You don't have like other choices. I mean, especially for that metal. I mean, you can just use like also the shittiest microphone, which
Yeah.
it works. You know, I mean, you're
Yeah.
just scrolling. You're not like
that's.
doing clean vocals and yeah.
I started taking my own microphone after COVID.
Anyway, one thing I wanted to say before I I quit this interview that I forgot to tell to anybody in Scotland last time. So what happened is that we were supposed to play on Friday, okay?
Yes.
So we played on Saturday then. So I had to rebuy the flight tickets for two of us, the guitar player and the bass player, Mazo, to fly back on Sunday morning. Poor guys, they had to fly back on Sunday. The thing is that Kendo, again, after the gig, I didn't know there was like another event going on, like Gothic, I don't know what the fuck happened. Anyway, what happened is that after the gig, after the interview that we did together, everybody like left the venue. They didn't know, they went like to another club or whatever. I stayed there, unfortunately. Yeah. Kendo started to offer me fucking drinks and drinks and drinks. I probably drank like a fucking bottle of what was it, the whiskey? How was it called? The Fireball.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So I remember like being in the venue, and again, I was supposed to go back to the hotel, but I want to say goodbye to the other guys who had like to, take a plane. I totally forgot about them. I got drunk as fuck. At some point, I remember like waking up in a hotel, and I totally forgot about the other guys.
Was
they
Kendall
played for
beside
me.
you in the hotel?
Sorry?
Was Kendall beside you in the hotel? In the bed when you woke up?
No, unfortunately not.
Even though there's seen a crime, he
But
disappears.
it's his fault. But it's his fault because he started to offer me fucking drinks on drinks on drinks and shots. On some point, I had like fucking 5 or 6 shots different, and I started to drink. Luckily, my hotel was like in front of the venue. Okay,
Yeah.
but I have like a blackout, and I remember the day after waking up after like a 3-hour sleep, and my first thing was like, holy fuck, where are the other guys? They had to take a plane. They are all here because of me. Imagine all these guys do a favor to you.
Yeah.
They learn the songs, they play for you. They have to take days free from work, day offs from work and stuff. And you just don't care about it. You're so drunk, like fuck it. I'm going to sleep. So that night, again, my last night in Scotland was again like so fucked up because of this other dude.
Yeah, and pattern developing here by Kendall, yes. Alcohol
Well, it's
and
fun. Yeah, it's funny because I left the other two guys. I went like to the hotel with the drummer who stayed there with me, but other guys had like the plane. And what's funny is the other two guys stayed there, and they are the only two guys who didn't spoke like one word English. So I don't know how the fuck they managed like to stay with Kendall. What happened? But
You're never going to come back to Scotland ever again. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your health.
Yeah.
But
I know.
we've got 3 minutes this session left. I just have to say it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you.
Thank you, man.
Kenny, thanks so much for joining us. And
oh, it's been a good laugh. I've enjoyed myself.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I'll need to get you on this radio station, Hannes, and
Yes.
play some of your tunes, and again have some more beer.
Yeah.
Let's do that. But it's been an absolute pleasure. Where can we get in touch with Tenebro? Where can we get in touch with you?
Absolutely. Whenever you want, man. Whenever you want. Thank you so fucking much. I appreciate it. You're doing a fantastic job. So thank you very much, Ricky, for inviting me. Yeah, whenever you want, we can have a talk. We can have a beer, and we can like talk trash about Kendo, and yeah, whatever you want. So it's fine.
There's a lot to talk about there. There's a lot to talk about. You take care of yourself, Hannes, and absolute pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you very much, guys.
Cheers,
See you.